Hi, amigas. Um, yeah, I wanted to start off. This is a wonderful rock I found on the beach, and I believe it is the kind that Native Americans used to make arrowheads and other tools because it's so, it breaks nicely, it chips well, and otherwise is very strong. And of course, I can't remember here's a little one that's actually been worked. And I noticed that I was holding on to it in my left hand, non-dominant hand, which I just think is interesting. This is the hand that reached for it. This is the hand that holds on to it. And there's a lot of, I don't know how prescribed this is, but it feels very natural to me. You circle, when you do the sage, counterclockwise, counterclockwise, counterclockwise. And I think it just, for me, represents the idea that we're in a different space. And the non-dominant side of the brain has things to say. I had a poetry teacher in college, in grad school, who had us do an exercise where our dominant hand writes a question, the linear side, the analytical side, and non-dominant hand writes the answer. And it gets a little weird in the neurochemistry, but the left hand controls the right side of the brain, which is the associative side, the poetic side, the non-linear side. And if you do this exercise, question with dominant hand, answer with non-dominant hand, which will be all shaky, unless you're ambidextrous, it doesn't have the controlled handwriting of the right hand. And in my case, and I think perhaps in general, it's a very young voice. It's a surprising voice, but there's something about it that's not grown up and hasn't yet assumed that role, the face that shows the outside world. Oh no, I'm this way, when I'm actually this way. At least half of me. So I encourage you to do that. It's like an oracle of a kind. The question, like, what's this all about, tarot? And the answer, which comes from the other side. You can tap on that other side within yourself just by doing this simple exercise. Give it a try. It always totally surprises me what my left hand has to say. Like bypasses certain filters and is both childlike and a little bit fierce in a way. Direct. And like, you take responsibility for some of this right side. The other thing I wanted to touch on was, as Valentine's Day approaches, thinking about important relationships in my life of that romantic nature, and it doesn't even have to be. Remember when you were a kid, and at least with me, we pasted together these Valentines. You folded the paper in half, you cut the half of the heart shape, and then you unfolded it, and there it was, the complete heart. And then to Whoosy Face, in your second grade class. And I used to stuff the box. Travis Brown, probably second grade. let me wear he had a beautiful brown hat, and he let me borrow it, and I just adored him. The boxes where you stuff the Valentines in the classroom, they were all anonymous. But I just put, one for everybody in the class, and then as many as I could stuff into my book bag for Travis Brown. And I'm still a little bit that way. I'm a little bit over the top when I love somebody. So I asked, I've had 2 long relationships in my life, both about 20 years. And the most recent one with a guy who lives near me and is like my best friend. Or certainly in the top few people I call when I'm in trouble or when I need help, when I need advice. And one of the things I asked him once, it wasn't really for advice, I was like asking him to answer for his gender. This ex-partner, ex, not ex, he's very nearby in every sense of the word. So I asked him, what is it with you guys, i.e. men? What's the matter with you? Why won't you talk about what you feel? Why is everything locked in the barn? I just don't get it, and it really pisses me off because we spend our time trying to read you. And you spend your time, I don't know, what are you doing? And he said, you're asking us what we feel? Number 1, we don't know. We don't know. You're asking us to dig for something we spend, most of our time trying to not know. We don't want these feelings to come up. We don't want to be all out of control with feelings when we're operating a chainsaw or whatever it is. Both men that I've been deeply involved with are carpenters. So I'm kind of, a lot of my analogies have to do with building or tools or saws or whatever. But I thought it was fascinating that he just told me the truth as he knew it. We don't know. We don't want to know. Stop asking us to figure it out. What do you feel? What do you feel? It's like, I feel like I want to run away. So, happy Valentine's Day. Maybe that's the runner-chaser thing. It just seems painful to me, but there you have it. So did they start to talk, or do we back off? And maybe when we back off, they start to talk. I don't know how it works. I just know it's a weird, exhausting dance that I'm no longer hammering at the door, asking somebody to let me in or tell me what they feel. They don't have to do that. No matter how long we've been in a dance, they don't, they're not required to clue me in, particularly if they're not ready to talk about it or they don't know. They haven't processed it enough. But all my life I've been that way, like you can be guarded with everybody else, but with me? How's that even possible? I should have access. Four of Swords. This is a card of not talking often. It's, the lighting is terrible, I'm sorry. You know, sword energy is ordinarily about communication. This is about a reflection on the part of this person who has withdrawn. They're not speaking because they're healing. They're getting ready to come back out. They've experienced some sort of Three of Swords, painful separation that's then put them into this intentional separation. While I heal, what I think, what I believe, what's worth fighting for. This is a soldier in the sepulcher. You know, there's an element of not playing dead, but it might look like the whole situation is dead in the water, and it's not. Tell me about the healing, please. Spirit. Okay. Scorpio, death energy, a card of transformation. I mean, on the level of feelings, it's water energy. And it may be, you know, healing the fact that something really big has changed and something has died on the level of the psyche. And it's left somebody in a state of confusion. Or maybe that's what's over. Cups energy, cups energy. There's been a transformation of this confusion, maybe. Because sword energy has been healed. What we believe in, what we think, how we speak, how we show up in the world. It's a card of temporary non-communication, perhaps until this confusion is somehow resolved. Okay. Under Four of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting because this is a card of withdrawal in a way. You know, I got to get my head clear. So much has been changing. I'm feeling different things now. Some feelings have fallen away. Some feelings have been able to come forward or about to after this brief respite. And it may be an end to the confusion once I've, I don't know who I'm speaking for, but it might be for Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is not ordinarily in this state of mind. The state of, I don't know what I'm feeling, what's real, what's illusion. It's all undergoing this immense change. And Queen of Swords is known for her stability through life, through change, through the different phases, she doesn't get phased. Knows herself. Card of Cancer. Cancer, Pisces, Libra sometimes. A card of the Divine Feminine. Intuitive knowing. Stable and authentic. Tapping into the mystery. Listening to that sounds from the other side, as I said, in that inverse circle, the non-dominant hand. This is so old, you know. I have to wonder what happened that the person who had picked this up then put it down before it was shaped into some kind of tool. You know, and this is a card of silence. Listening, not speaking, can be a card of secrets or secret knowledge. You know, of the mysteries, a card of confusion. Not necessarily a bad thing if it's in search of the mystery of cups energy, of water energy. What do I feel? What is this sea change? Tell me about the confusion and the sea change, please. Tell us. In this collective. Roles could be reversed. I mean, I don't often say that, but it's really a thing. You could see, I'm talking about them, or whatever. It could be you. The energies can go back and forth. Absolutely, the energies back and forth. This is a card of sharing, of recalibrating, of getting help, of generosity, in Queen of Pentacles energy, male or female, the caretaking, nurturing, earth energy, you know, Empress energy, basically. Divine feminine. And I say Empress because this is an earth sign. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Taurus is Empress energy. And remember, I started it out with that anecdote of going to my friend and saying, what is it with you men? I mean, you know, who but a friend could you go to and say, answer for your gender? You know, explain it to me. Why are you guys so confused about feelings? Water energy, another water energy. Divine feminine. I think this is, you know, this line, Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, Six of Pentacles, is, and we got that combination, I think it was yesterday. The mystery, the unspoken thing, and then the card of sharing it in 3D to help somebody. And on the, I think, the divine masculine, male or female, whoever that is undergoing this massive transformation in what they feel, how they resolve confusion around feelings. And I think they're doing just that. You know, by quieting their mind. Allowing feelings to actually come forward and change things. Not keep them locked in the barn. I mean, you know, tally-ho, this horse is on the move. I never noticed that, but there's a kind of bridge in the background. These two towers. Some sort of portal. It's like the portal to emotional change is open, and this is sort of like the floodgates are opened, and it's overwhelming this person. What's real? What's fantasy? You know, let me go into this retreat, calm my brain down, calm my nervous system down. And I think whoever you are to this person, you serve as a kind of stabilizing force. Not an anchor really, but you're like a touchstone. You're like a touchstone. Because there are things you know, and they know you know, and that they don't as yet have a handle on. And I think one of the things that's confusing them is that in many ways, none of us has a handle on it. Being open-hearted doesn't mean you're not confused or trying to parse fantasy from reality, or which cup. There are a lot of options out there. How do I go forward? We all participate in that. Just some of us want to open the barn door. The barn door business refers to it was a New Yorker cartoon that showed a barn with a padlock on it. And the elder man speaking to the young boy, saying, this is where we keep our feelings. If you have a feeling, this is where you lock them up. Words to that effect. In the barn, seal it. And I said to my friend, why do you do that? Well, I think this person, something is, despite themselves, in their psyche, something is said, that phase is over. And perhaps, you're not as confused as you think you are. You're not as confused about feelings as you think you are. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords would think her way through confusion. She's interested in kind of the cold, hard truth. That's the way I'm reading it this time, because she cuts the corn. She peels away at things. She would open the barn. She'd try to open your barn. She asks questions. She wants more information. And perhaps this is an aspect of themselves now. This one who's been overwhelmed and kind of gobsmacked about the change, about the feelings breaking down the door. Whoever this is, they'd welcome the truth. And they know the difference. They know a true feeling, well. There's a Yeats poem about somebody who loved you with false love or true. All these people, some with false love, some with true. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and loved the shadows of your changing face. This is a steady as she goes person, as they go person. She's present. She operates in real life and in the realm of the mystery. And she somehow manages, she, he, they, to bring it into 3D and share it. You know, somehow by her very presence, their very presence, answers the questions about feelings. And this person needs to answer their own questions. Right hand writes the question, left hand answers. They need to tap, because left hand is this, the one that ordinarily doesn't talk. You know, you really have to ask it, and then be, you know, the linear side of your brain, you have to put into timeout. Like, don't you answer. This is a chance for the intuitive side that doesn't ordinarily talk to, you're giving them the pencil. You answer. And I think they're attempting to do the same thing, to begin to ask the questions, to be willing to face their confusion. Again, roles could be reversed. Could all be internal energy. Because this is a card of kind of turning inward. Tuning out outside voices. To gain some clarity about this, you know, what do I feel business? What does this person feel? What do they feel? They won't tell us. Perhaps Spirit will. Okay. Well, we got it again. I do this periodically. I, by mistake, shuffle something back into the deck that's already appeared. And here she is again, like Queen of Swords pursues the answer. She wants communication, Eight of Wands. Back and forth conversation. You know, she wants to ask the question and hear the answer. She wants to be asked and speak her truth. Chances are, even if she's not asked for the truth, when the conversation begins, and it might begin like la-di-da, innocently enough, and Queen of Swords comes in and says, can we please talk about something real? Can we cut through the crap and, you know, have a real conversation? Back and forth, exchanging heartfelt, you know, it's not like the answers that you've rehearsed and thought about and that you know and all of that. This kind of peels it back a bit. It's dynamic, ingoing, outgoing, can be rapid fire questions. And another card of feeling. It's all on this deck. Hangman, card of Pisces. Card of getting a new perspective. It can be a card of non-action, even of like a refusal to act. You know, I need to process my feelings, and I'm not going to talk about it or get down out of this suspension until I do. It's willfully, you know, calling a time out. I need to get this epiphany. And part of it is to see it from the other guy's point of view. You know, that may be partly what needs to be healed. This person has not done this before. They may be in the midst somehow of processing their feelings, you know, out of this state of confusion. And like, I'm not ready yet. I'm in this kind of chrysalis state, trying to gain the epiphany. And I think it's a matter of days. Swords can speak to days. And we are closing out Aquarius and entering Pisces, the water sign. Pisces. We're entering Pisces, you know, and the whatever this new perspective is following this change, it's on the archetypal level. It's peeling it back, and I think that, okay, well, we have another card, this time Earth energy of Virgo. Another card of this, of the solitude. There's a wonderful book by May Sarton called, I think it's called Diary of a Solitude. It's about the wisdom that comes up when you're in the quiet of your own experience, but tapping into an archetypal wisdom that has to do with with our collective experience. This is the teacher card. You know, Hermit sort of lives both inside and outside time. This is a, you know, kind of a father time card. But it has an element of this in it. And an element of this. So I may be jumping the gun. I may be the one asking the questions like Queen of Swords. What is it with you guys? And this may be the secret ask of Divine Feminine. You know, go on the journey. Find the answers for yourself. Don't always try to tap into me, even energetically, to answer the question. Ask your own intuitive self. Go into a quiet and, you know, do your own pedaling. Because Hermit faces the question on a quest to find the answers by going into the quiet themselves. It's a 9 card. It speaks to the personal journey. And remember I said do your own pedaling? That's kind of what this energy is. 8 of Pentacles. Do the work. And I think this person is doing the work. And there is an element of Queen of Swords that's a little bit snarky. You know, what have you discovered? What's your truth? Answer my questions. Well, I think this person has been waiting a long time. Pentacles speak to time and to work and to investment and to 3D stuff. Queen of Pentacles has done the work. And there may be an implicit question, you know, have you gone inside and done the work to process your feelings? You know, this isn't going to be a superficial conversation. It's just, sorry. Wow, throat chakra completely closed up. It may not be superficial, but it may be hard for somebody to get the truth out. They're healing their ability to do that. Swords speak the truth. This is also a card of mastery in the 3D, of having worked on something a long time and you know, conscientiously. No, that's not. Consciously. Two 8s. Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, Tower. Oh, it's like, oh my, Emperor. I think Divine Masculine, who's undergone this amazing transformation, has stepped into their, and you know, when we say Divine Masculine, that's doubling down on the fact that it's not about gender. It's about energy. You know, whoever's, it's a 4 card as well. 4 in Major Arcana, 4 in Sword energy. You know, this period of respite and change and confusion, you know, through the hard work done, I think because I think this was in suspension, this relationship, right? Water energy, relationship, Hangman, suspension, non-action. And it might have been in response to your pointed questions, Queen of Swords. You know, what the hell is going on with you? What are you doing? What do you feel? What a little. I think that's going to be at least partially revealed in a forthcoming conversation. This is a card of Aries, of somebody who takes control. Their psyche has gotten a grip. In fire energy. In fire energy. They've been prepping for this conversation, I think, for a long time. And thinking, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to share with this highly intuitive divine feminine who can see through me. Who can read the energies. You know, I walk in the room, it's like, it's a feeling of vulnerability. Somebody who can see right through the barn door. Well, this guy is opening up. He's fully going to participate in the conversation because, in fact, has done the work. Has done the work. And it's something very liberating, these double 8s, 16, Tower, out of the mold, out of the container. It's not big enough anymore. Everything's changed. Some kind of game changer. Divine masculine, divine feminine. And I think there's the possibility for a real 3D exchange of feelings. Anything else? Yes. Yeah, the slow forward movement. In Pentacles energy. Coming into something real. You know, having spent a long time working on it. You know, in some way, the work that they did made them grow and change to such an extent that they've participated with the universe in blowing up this tower. Because that's what this guy would do. He'd be ready to push the plunger on this containment of the barn and let the feelings out. And here they come in 3D, step by step. It's not like the whole thing. The container breaks and then it's slow forward movement in 3D because there still is a lot of work to do. There are a lot of conversations to be had, particularly if somebody's been holding back for a very long time. Not because they were manipulating, because they were confused. They didn't understand this transformation. Their sword energy had to kind of stay out of it so that they could process the feelings. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, all the water signs are here. The big reveal. And it may come suddenly and unexpectedly and like kaboomy, here we go. I mean, I was referring to this one as the floodgates. It is a floodgate, but then it's like, okay, how do we deal with this step by step? How do we move this thing forward in 3D? Is that it? Yeah. I think one of the ways we move it forward is to realize this work of back and forth, a genuine conversation that's grounded and real, as real as we can make it, because there's always this. You know, there's always the question of where do we take it from here? How do I process these? You know, we don't stop that. It's not like we say, oh, I get it, and I'll get it forever. There are periods of suspension where we process. There are periods of turning inward to find answers to the questions. To find answers to the questions. Sword energy. Slow forward progress. I mean, I think this change, if it's not already happened, and I think it has, is imminent. Like within a few days. Maybe when we enter into Pisces. The floodgates. But it's like a controlled, in a way, it's floodgates, it's open communication, but there's an element, I mean, this divine masculine is not going to be all over the place. He has processed, he has done the work, he has blown up the constraint. He's gone a long way toward healing not only himself, but the relationship, the potential for conversation and communication about, you know what? You can feel it coming. Yeah, love you guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It makes a difference. A lot of you are doing that, and I so appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.